to Rewire My Soul. This is me documenting integration and aftershocks of my uh, first MDMA experience journey, medicine journey, um, about a week ago. More aftershocks came in the days after my MDMA journey, not tremors, but tectonic shifts in how I moved through the world. It wasn't just insight, it was operating system updates. Here's how my lenses kept changing. Number one, time stops being abstract. Before, I'll call mom tomorrow. After, dialing her number while standing in the cereal aisle because tomorrow isn't promised. The mundane becomes urgent. You start measuring time in last times and enough times. The way you used to count calories, you now count sunrises left with the people you love. Number two, your tolerance for bullshit evaporates. Before, nodding politely through toxic work meetings, swallowing your truth like forced fun at a birthday party. After, actually no, said to the job, the friend, the obligation that drains you. Grief teaches you life is too short for half-lived relationships and joyless compromises. You stop donating your energy to emotional vampires. You become a curator of your own peace and your boundaries grow teeth. I think that's my favorite line. By the way, this is part of my memoir as I'm documenting my post-fire rebirth. Your boundaries grow teeth. 3, you see the backbone of your life. Before, stressing over burnt dinners, late Ubers, Instagram likes. After, noticing the way your partner's hand steady you when you cry. The quiet things that hold you up. Crisis strips away the veneer, revealing who and what actually sustains you. The invisible architecture of your life, the friend who shows up without agenda, the neighbor remembers your favorite meal, becomes luminous. You stop chasing glitter and start polishing the stones already in your pocket. Fear loses its grip. Before, what if I fail? After, what if I never try? Once you've faced the worst, the fire, the loss, the abyss, lesser fears shrink. You quit your job. You send your manuscript. You risk rejection like it's a splinter, not a spear. Survival becomes your superpower. Small things grow halos. This is number 5. Before, barely tasting your morning coffee. After, feeling the heat of the mug, the slant of sunlight, the grit of an ordinary Tuesday. Lost rewires your senses. The trivial, a shared laugh, a warm bath, the way the light hits your child's hair. Becomes sacred. You realize joy wasn't hiding in some grand future. It was always there whispering in the details you used to look over because you were chasing time. Love becomes a verb, not a feeling. Before, assuming they know. After, saying I love you to the grocery clerk. The old friend. The dog, the sky, because silence is no longer an option. You realize love isn't just an emotion, it's an action, an offering, a constant choosing. You touch shoulders with strangers. You leave 5 stars, even if they didn't deserve them. You become a walking apology and a standing ovation, all at once. My conclusion, the aftermath is the awakening. This is what they don't tell you about the transformation. It's not a lightning bolt, but a slow sunrise. The medicine didn't just show me self-love for 6 hours. It changed my lenses to show me how to live in color. I used to think healing meant returning to who I was before the fire, before the loss. Now I know the point isn't to go back, but to become something new, something more, something tender, something awake, something more alive. The fear doesn't disappear, but now it sits beside you, not inside you. The grief doesn't vanish, but now it's a companion, not a captor. And the love becomes unignorable. you start to realize that this aftermath is actually the beginning. You know, one of the things that isn't complicated and is something that I knew, but I didn't know how to get there. And I think a lot of people get there through different ways, right? Like meditation. But for me, the intersection of my house burning down, going on a medicine journey, turning 52, it became a wave to ride and undeniable. And through this, my life lenses changed because I am pulling more from love. Simply put, I am more present and pulling from love. I mean, these are things we know, but many actually get here. And logically, I've talked about this, but this is the first time in my life where I actually feel it in my body, right? And I gotta say, it changes everything. It changes how you show up in your day-to-day. It changes how you show up with your friends or relationships. It changes you from being defensive to curious. You take more ownership. And then also you notice things. You know, I tell people during my first rebirth, post divorce, one of the things I started noticing was trees. And I mean, I say that kind of to be funny, but it's true. I never like looked at trees, you know, something so simple, something so mundane. And now I not only notice trees, but I see the magic in them, the wonder, right? Like I see miracles in trees. And I think that's me getting deeper. I think that's me really now feeling and living this grounded, mindful life, letting go of the chase. If you know my story, I've been chasing shiny things for most of my life. And so letting go of the chase, letting go of the bullshit, the things that don't matter, and then focusing on appreciating and valuing the things that do matter. The little things, right? Not the big things. I mean, the big things matter too, but they shouldn't define your life, you know? Of course, I still want, you know, book deals. And I've got big dreams and I want to build my empire and all that, but I don't hit pause on life because of that, right? It has less power over me. I find life in my life now, or I'm able to, I'm learning to, like the exchange from a good friend and coffee. Noticing a stranger being kind to you. Kissing like you kissed in high school, you know? It's almost like you're learning to relive without the conditioning of the chase. And I think I experienced a lot of this post 35, going through my rebirth. It's when I discovered motorcycles and barbells and allowing myself to have a donut once in a while. But this thing I'm experiencing now, and of course with the help of MDMA, with that journey, and I think it's like a Kickstarter, right? It's not something that you do every weekend, but I think it really gives your body the experience of what it feels like to be present and grounded, not defensive, but open, wide, and expansive. And then you can try to trace that without the drug, the medicine. I don't want to call it a drug, the medicine. And you know, as I say medicine, that's actually the difference this time is approaching it like a medicine, defining it as a medicine, because before it was a drug, right? Or that's how I saw it, right? So even that reframe has been super helpful. I don't know how you're going to get there. You're going to have your own journey, whether you use meditation, motorcycles, ice plunges, or medicine. But I hope you get there. I hope you get there. And listen, I feel it now. It doesn't mean I'm going to stay here, right? I am not someone who feels like I have rung some kind of bell, or I'm suddenly enlightened. I'm here today, And I don't know if I will be tomorrow, but I am here today. And I'm so grateful for that. I think also as you get older, it's easier to let go of things. You know, it's easier to accept not only others, but yourself and your story. So that's also happening with me. I'm excited about my new life. I'm excited about seeing the world through new lenses. This act 2 I'm going through is needed. It's powerful. I've been craving it. And it took our house burning down to get here. And for that, I'm so grateful. I hope you're on your journey to get to a place where your lens changes as well. I don't know if you're in a toxic relationship or a shitty job. I don't know if you are in a container that is stunting growth and potential and not allowing you to get there. And listen, if your life, you know, if you're in survival mode, if you're feeding kids as, say, a single parent, and you can just barely put food on the table, then yeah, this is not going to be priority. And I get that. But I do hope you get there. I do hope you feel some of the things that I'm feeling and have this revelation that life is about, at the end of the day, love. Thank you for listening. Be well.